When video games reach popularity, players inevitably want to make changes. Sometimes they want to make gameplay adjustments or put cool music in the game. Or sometimes people want to put Among Us in Mario Kart because, why wouldn't you? And of course, one of the most popular games in the world to mod is Super Smash Bros. Pretty much every game has some degree of a modding scene, making the games that we love just that much more enjoyable. Project M and Project Plus are basically household names at this point. Smash 4 mod packs were always incredibly popular, and even Ultimate has its fair share of mods being released every single day. Melee was always an oddball, with cosmetics taking a backseat to the development of tools that make learning the game and practicing tech skill that much easier, and helping to improve the tournament scene with statistics and stream tools. But there was one game that didn't really have much to speak of for a really long time. The first game in the series, Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 64. Now, I'm not entirely clear on the reason for this. It could have been a technical hurdle where it was difficult to actually take mods from a computer and get them into the cartridge. Or it could have just been an interest thing where no one really felt like taking the time to figure out how to mod this game. Now, that's not to say that Smash 64 didn't have a couple mods that existed. 19XX-TE was a pack that included inaccessible stages in the game onto the stage select screen, such as Dual Zone and Metacrystal, and those test stages that have invisible walls and weird glitches. And like Melee, it also included tons of features that were not usually accessible, which made learning the inner workings of the game much easier. Another pack was Super Smash Bros. MSE, or More Stage Edition, which took competitive stages from future Smash games and put them into Smash 64, which at the time was a huge feat. Stages like WarioWare, Kalos Pokemon League, Smashville, and Pokemon Stadium being on the N64 was amazing. But all of this really laid the groundwork, and it really built up to the pack that we're about to talk about. This is a pack that changed everything with the upload of a single YouTube video. This video, uploaded in 2019, shows Ganondorf fighting Link in Smash 64. What was notable about this was not only was a completely new model imported into the game, but his moveset was given different attributes as well. He was clearly a bit slower than Captain Falcon, and he had some moves that were completely different. Adding Ganondorf to the game effectively laid the groundwork for what would soon become an incredible mod pack, Smash Remix. The concept of this pack as a whole differs from what many packs try to do. Ever since Project M's popularity, many groups will try to take their individual game and add mods similar to Project M, like speeding up the game, including advanced mechanics, and making a bunch of changes to the actual engine. What Smash Remix opts to do, however, is simply create new characters for Smash 64 as if they had been created for this game. Rather than bring Smash 64 up to the new standards of today, they're effectively bringing new characters back to the original game standards. So the characters are potentially what you'd have expected them to be as official Smash 64 characters back in 1999. Soon, Ganondorf wouldn't be alone on the roster. Young Link, Falco, and Dr. Mario were all created as well. And I think at this point you'll probably see a pattern. All of these characters are effectively clones of Smash 64's base roster, and it's kind of understandable why. It's far easier to start with a base and make changes than it is to totally start from scratch. Plus, it helps you get more comfortable in the environments and the workspaces before you can really go to town and test what this mod is capable of. Now, the initial downside to this mod was that everything needed to be replaced. New characters, new stages, these were all replacing their original counterparts. So at the time, you really needed to decide if you wanted to play Smash 64 with Falco in the game or with Fox in the game. But with version 0.8.2, stages no longer had to be replaced, so you can have all the new stages being created while also keeping the original ones. And by version 0.9, the characters didn't need replacing either, so this version of the game could really serve as the definitive version of Smash 64 in many, many ways. Over the course of the following year and a half, more characters would be dropped for the mod. Dark Samus, Wario, Lucas, Bowser, Wolf, and Conker were all released. They even made a full Mad Piano moveset for April Fools, which then they just added to the game permanently. Each update brought new stages as well, inspired by all kinds of games. Outside of the competitive stages, they included some stages for fun. There are stages inspired by Game Boy games, there's Spiral Mountain, Conker has his own stage, they even added mementos from Smash Ultimate. They're really going all out here. But probably my favorite thing about this mod is that it runs perfectly on console. Now granted, you do need an expansion pack, because when the base console only has 4 MB of RAM, you're gonna need every extra byte that you can get. And you can definitely emulate it as well, but with N64 emulation not always being the greatest, I just don't have a great track record with it, so it being on the console works wonders. And I've always just been so in love with playing on the real hardware if I can. If I can pop it on a CRT and I have to try it 3 times to get it to play right, all the better. But let's look at the characters. We saw early Ganondorf already, but later on he got decloned even more with smash attacks that use a trident from Ocarina of Time, so that now he's almost like Ultimate's version of the character, but on the Nintendo 64. Young Link and Dr. Mario are about what you'd expect. The overall designs of each character carry over from previous Smash titles, so their differences are pretty minor, although they do both have their sick dunk moves from various games. Now Falco is a really cool one in my opinion because the moveset tries to capture Melee Falco's playstyle inside of Smash 64. Because there are no side specials in the game, rather than a laser, the remix opted to give him his illusion as his neutral special, just for a bit of variety, and honestly I think it's really cool that they got this to work. His shine also pops characters up, and his down air spikes them down, so Falco pillars do work in this game, they're just, stiffer than they would be in Melee. Dark Samus is also effectively a clone of Samus, but again they made some tweaks here and there. One cool thing is that some of her moves from her assist trophy days are turned into actual moves for her moveset in this pack, which I think is a really nice touch. But these characters we just looked at were really the testing grounds, with Falco and Dark Samus really testing the capabilities of both the team's skills, but also how the moves can translate into Smash 64. And all of this experience with these characters resulted in the game's first fully unique character, Wario. Now this take on Wario is somewhat unique, partially borrowing from Project M while also including their own twists, but what's notable is that it's largely based on Wario Land. Logically, this is because WarioWare didn't exist at the time of Smash 64, so a Wario that made it into Smash 64 would have been purely based on Wario Land and then, like Mario Golf or something. So that's always a refreshing take to see, and frankly, this character is made incredibly well. He feels really fun to play, like my knowledge of Wario in other Smash games can help, but he's his own unique character too, and that's something that I really admire. After Wario, Lucas was added, and to me this feels more like a just because we can edition, because he mostly has his moveset from other Smash games, minus PK Freeze. Their take on Bowser feels like this really neat combination of Melee, Ultimate, and their own unique additions. He isn't roller skating on the ground, he's got his flying slam move. I mean, I don't know what else to say, this character is just cool. And what's even cooler than Bowser? Giga Bowser. Giga Bowser is also playable through a toggle on the character select screen, and I'm honestly really surprised that something like this could function on a Nintendo 64. Honestly, I'm surprised I don't see smoke coming out of my console the moment I load in as this character. The next character was Wolf, and honestly, he's fun enough. He definitely feels like an N64 combination of Ultimate and Project M Wolf, but to me, he was just an okay addition. I do really like his design though. They did a great job of taking a Star Fox 64 Wolf and designing him as if he had been included in Smash 64. But the coolest one to me is, I think, Conquer the Squirrel. He was the first character added to this game that has never been in Smash before, and so as a result, his moveset is entirely unique. And honestly, it is really inspired, with a ton of creativity in the moveset coming from Conker's Bad Fur Day. The use of grenades, the slingshot, a chainsaw, a flamethrower, a katana, a frying pan. I mean, really, this feels like a 100% official character in a Smash game. Absolutely huge props to the Smash Remix team for pulling this off, because it is incredibly impressive. And as if stages and characters weren't enough, there's a ton of single player fun as well. Every character has their own unique break the targets and board the platform stages. There's a totally unique classic mode featuring only modded characters. They have a Smash Get Ball stage built into the mod, and there's even something similar to Squad Strike for the vanilla cast. In all honesty, I don't think I've seen a Smash mod give this much love and have this level of quality since Project M itself. And they're doing it on a console where you had to blow into the cartridge to get the game working. If you haven't checked this mod out, I absolutely recommend it. They're doing some fantastic work. And even if you aren't super into Smash 64 as a game, you're gonna have fun with this game. You'll definitely have a good time, so I highly recommend it. And now, we just wait for their take on Banjo and Kazooie.